Welcome everyone to the Infernal Brotherhood of the Scruffy Looking Nerf Herders. This is a live streaming video podcast by Star Wars fans for Star Wars fans. And today we're going to be continuing our episodic review of Star Wars The Acolyte with Season 1, Episode 5, Night.
Yeah, we're a week late for this, but it's only because of like desperation and sorrow.
Yeah, man, we couldn't fucking do it.
It's not that we didn't want to, it's just that we physically emotionally could not.
Yeah, it was, I mean, if you guys watched it, you understand. It was a tough one to crack. Yeah. Okay, so before we get into our initial thoughts and all that shit, so of course we always bitch about the sycophants to Star Wars, and then like the polar opposite of just regardless of what it is, if it's not the first three, it's garbage.
Yeah.
Well, a very good friend of mine is of the former camp, and I finally just broke down, gave him my Star Wars or my Disney Plus login, and was like, dude, I'm fucking sick of not talking about this show with you. Watch the fucking show. First episode, he's like,
of the Acolyte?
Oh, just wait, yeah. First episode, he wasn't on board, but he wasn't a hater yet.
Yet.
Yes, there's a reason I say yet. So after watching the first episode, he watched the following two and was like, well, I mean, it's stupid, but there's potential. And I was like, just wait. He finished it up, and he has become one of those people that is, that listens to the voice of reason. He's like, yeah, man, I've always been one of those people that regardless of what it is, I'm just happy that I'm getting Star Wars. This is the first time I've ever watched something and it was like, nope, I'm good. That's like, yeah, man, that's the thing. We bitch about this because we care. We don't bitch about it because it's stupid or woke or any of the dumb shit that people are bitching about. It's like, this is just not good.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's the worst part about it is because you can take the politics of the creator, you can take the politics of the actors, and you can take it all and strip it all away, and it's still just not a well-written story.
Yep.
And that's the worst part about it all.
That's a problem.
There has to be logic for why A happens and then B happens. And if there's no logic, it doesn't matter what your politics are. It just sucks. And there's a lot, especially in this episode, sweet fucking hell. There's a lot of contrivance and conveniences that are just like insane. They don't make any sense at all. So before we start diving into the dumpster fire of like, what the fuck, initial thoughts to this for you?
Initial thoughts, it's like the fighting. Okay. So initially, first viewing, the fighting was the only good thing about this. It, of course, upon further, the second watching and subsequent third watching, it was like watching a fucking episode of the 1966 Adam West Batman. As far as like the fighting. Well, yeah, man, if you watch it, it's like everybody's like all gung ho. There's a lot of camera movement.
Yeah.
But it's 1-on-1.
Yeah.
Until there's a point where it's safe to do 2-on-1 or 3-on-1.
Yeah.
We're
talking about porn, right?
What's that?
I feel like we're talking about porn.
I mean, it's like the polar opposite of porn. It sounds like it should be good, but it's just disappointing. Well, actually, there's a lot of that's porn.
I track it.
Yep. It's coming out of my mouth, true. I'm like, no.
I was like converted to your opinion, and I'm right back to where I was in the beginning. For different reasons. Yeah, my initial thoughts were like, oh, lightsabers, awesome. And then I started thinking, and I was like, nope.
That's the hard part, man.
It sucks because they pull out like cortosis, which I called out. Like, I know what that shit is because I'm a fucking Star Wars EU fan. And anyone who is a Star Wars EU fan knows exactly what the fuck that is. So when he headbutts a goddamn lightsaber, that's money. Like, initially.
And his one gauntlet. Yeah, that's just dope.
It's fucking great. And the Jedi are just like, what the fuck? Because they haven't seen that since the fucking Old Republic. They don't know. That's not like a common substance. No one knows about that shit. So I loved that deep cut. But then they changed it to being like Magneto's helmet, where he can't use the Force, or the Force can't penetrate it, but he can use the Force to go out of it, which makes no goddamn sense.
Actually, it makes perfect sense, and that's canonical, both Legends and current canon.
What?
Yeah, man. Fucking look at Kanan. Like Kanan, he wore the fucking mask to.
They didn't keep the Force out.
Well, okay, yeah, never mind. Sorry, I'm. Yeah, the
like
whole
Magneto.
blocking the yeah, never mind. I'm just gonna shut up. I just realized as I'm saying it. Nope, I'm just talking about a separate aspect of that. But yes,
that's
frustrated
me to no end. Like you add one thing that's like super dope, and then you try to make some like weird rules, and then again, just like the writing in the story, the rules don't make sense. If you cannot penetrate into the helmet, because he's like, take off the helmet, why don't you show your Padawan your face? And he was like, you want me to take this off, bitch? Yeah, I take this off. You read my mind.
Mm-hmm.
But then how are you using the Force to see them if like the Force does not penetrate it? Because the whole premise is it's a self-deprivation tank, which we learn in the next episode, which like keeps the Force, like it's the only thing you have is the Force.
Mm-hmm.
But then why the fuck can't it enter it? That doesn't make any sense to me.
And the problem with it is
like
the fact that he's got islets.
Yeah.
Like you could clearly see out of it. Therefore, it negates it being a sensory deprivation helmet.
Luke.
Because that's something, again, like that's been a part of Star Wars.
Yeah.
Like that's actually a super powerful helm in the Old Republic. Sorry, not the Old Republic, Knights of the Old Republic. Like you throw that on, that ups your fucking force power significantly because it blocks everything else.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
So that is the thing. So the Knights of the Old Republic, the video game.
I played the video game,
yeah. That's one of the helmets that you can get. Is there's a Sith sensory deprivation helmet. I don't remember exactly what it's called. Yeah, I mean it's been like
that's a deep ass cut.
Probably like 10 years since I played it, but yeah, that was like super powerful piece of armor. Like I actually used that shit up until the point where I could actually wear Revan's helm. At that point, it's like, yeah, obviously, like I don't give a fuck if it's gonna, lower my stats. I have to wear that because it's dope. But yeah, no, so that is a thing in,
you mean with like the Miraluka girl who's like just that whole species is blind, and they can only sense the Force through everything else, so they just like wear whatever the fuck they want.
Oh,
isn't that Miraluka?
No, it's
isn't it? Chat, help me out here.
No, god damn it. Sorry, I'm trying to remember. Visasmar.
Right, but the species thing.
Oh, the species. Yeah, I don't remember.
Isn't it Miraluka?
Yeah,
I think it's Miraluka. Anyway.
So, I mean, that's why they're so strong on the Force. But, yeah, I mean, it's the same basic idea. Like, if you cut off your senses, the only thing you have left is the Force.
Yeah. That's why I burned all of my fingertips so that I couldn't feel anything, and then all my other senses would heighten. It didn't work.
Yeah, no, they just have really painful hand jobs.
Yeah. I mean, it feels weird and cool. So I'm not going to complain.
At the end of the day, it's still handy.
At the end of the day, I still have burnt ass fingertips, and it sucks. Yeah, my initial thoughts were very much like, "Oh, this is great." Oh, I take it back. Like I want to like this because there's so much. I take that back. There are a few things that are super fucking dope in this episode. 100% dope as fuck. I will forever stand on that hill and fight anyone who tries to say this is not cool as shit. And we'll get into it in a second, but. God damn, the writing of this show sucks. It is so painfully horrible.
Yeah, that's the problem. It's like the fight scenes, like the action-y stuff where there's no dialogue, no story, just fighting.
Yeah.
Great. Even if it's stuff we've never seen in Star Wars before, it's still great. Like the Kung Fu shit.
Yeah.
I'm all for that.
I think Kung Fu.
It's just everything else sucks.
Yeah. All right, so this is titled Night. We're going with the single title episodes because we're just only getting one perspective of. I don't even understand why. Like, we started with like, oh, we're gonna get dual perspectives, and then you're like, well, is day like May or is day is Osha or is night is Osha, night is May, and none of it makes sense. So it's like,
not at all.
With everything else, the writers just stopped caring and they just title it whatever the fuck they want to title it. So it was directed by Alex Garcia Lopez, which, look, given the script. You do your best. I can't blame a director. He only had like 21 minutes. And
and that's the downside with doing episodic television is the director is essentially the babysitter for the episode.
Yeah.
Like the showrunner still has final say on the story and continuity and all that shit. It's not like the golden days of like X-Files where you get your one weird David Lynch episode that's black and white and artsy fartsy. And it has nothing to do with anything else. Yeah, gone are the days of good television.
Nostalgia boner for X-Files, like
dude, and
when it was airing.
it still holds up.
So good. It's on Hulu. If y'all have Hulu, hook it up. It's
Yeah.
really fucking good, man.
Way
It's
better
really
than
good.
this.
I ended up buying the DVD set of the mythology episodes, so I can just watch mythology all the way through.
Hell
So fucking cool. Back when Columbia House was a thing, does anyone remember that? It was like a
Oh,
music
yes.
streaming platform. They'd give you like 7 CDs and they owned your soul. Like I did the VHS version just for the fucking X-Files because they weren't available any other way. And I was over in Germany, or actually at the time it was Georgia, then Germany. But like I needed it. I need my fix. I'm willing to sell my soul to Columbia House. VHS for X-Files. All right. We're talking Star Wars though. It was written by Corradonna and I need to get my glasses. Cameron Squires, and sweet fucking hell, these two suck.
Yeah.
God damn, this makes no goddamn sense. It doesn't even line up with the end of the last episode.
No.
So
not
fucking
really.
stupid and just ridiculous. All right, so the end of the last episode, just to recap so people know where we're coming from, because it has been 2 weeks and the rage and hurt like washes away logic. So the end of the last episode, May literally decided, you know what, fuck this. My sister's alive. I'm going to turn myself into the Jedi. It's all going to be different. I'm going to start wearing bows in my hair and start singing. I might even start baking and like wearing dresses. It was like a whole new world for May.
Yep.
And then the start of this episode happens and she is like nowhere. No one, like nothing at all. We know she saw the dead Jedi who is literally right like 5.5 feet away from the battle that is ongoing right now.
Yeah, she watched them all get taken out.
Totally disappeared out of nowhere. Like she was nowhere to be seen. But that's not the worst of it, because Saul, the Jedi Master of this team of what is it, like 7 to 10 Jedi? These are Jedi Knights and a Padawan. Saul's Padawan, which will come in important later on when he leaves her dead ass. But like, he is the man like watching, like running the show. That first force push at the end of the last episode, he isn't seen for the first half of this whole fucking episode. So we open with Osha waking up from consciousness, which I never knew force push like knocked you out, but apparently that's a thing now. And like,
well, not only that, but like, why did it leave a red dirt?
Right. It was like there was this weird. What's that planet of salt in Last Jedi?
Crate.
It was that weird crate planet thing where they like pushed and it was like, oh shit, the first layer is gone. Now they realize it's all just like, I don't know, paprika under there.
Right.
Which would be cool, but I'd rub my chicken in it.
Yeah.
I love paprika. I'd put my fucking fish in it. That's how much of a fan. Salmon barbecued with paprika, heavy on the salt and pepper, is dope.
That sounds pretty goddamn amazing.
Back to this nonsense. She wakes up, she runs over, and we get this obscured view of a massive battle until you realize it's only one dude and like 7 to 10 Jedi, and he's on the right side of the screen, and all along the middle and left side of the screen, they're still fighting, but there's no one to be fighting. Like, did you notice that? It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
They're like, vroom, 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 but he's like over in fucking Kansas, like nowhere near them.
Yeah, man. It's, again, that's the thing is, it's like watching. Well, okay, that's not fair to say it's like watching the 1966 Batman, because the 1966 Batman is campy and goofy, and every second of it is worth watching.
Yeah. Well, it's fun. Like,
It's
I
not
think
so
that's the
much.
difference.
Yeah, 100%.
Batman's fun. This is not fun. This is painful.
No. Yeah.
And the worst part about it is, like, I want it to be fun, for fuck's sake. I want to love. That's why, like, I'm fighting with myself. I have to watch this. Who knows?
Yeah, you
there
guys
could
have
be a good one.
no fucking idea the amount of back and forth between the two of us there was to bring these episodes. Like, it was a very significant internal battle.
It's rough. Because we have to, like, decide, do we want to waste our lives talking about it, or do we want to waste our lives talking about it? And there's a good and a bad to that same fucking sentence. Yeah, so that like, initially I was just like, lightsabers. I was like, wait a second, he's over there. What the fuck are they swinging their lightsabers at? That makes no sense at all. And then we get to see, in my personal humble opinion, the best lightsaber sequence since Mace Windu cut off fucking Mandalorian's head. What the fuck was his name?
Jango Fett.
Jango Fett. That was dope as fuck. This, we had a Jedi kebab and then a beheading. A double beheading.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, man.
I
Like,
thought that was so cool.
that's the thing. Like, all the kills were fucking top
great.
notch.
It was fun.
Like,
I even
so
like the neck break, which is
Yeah,
a
man,
very
Yord-
80s thing.
Oh my god, that's the thing. Like, that makes sense actually. Why that was so satisfying. Huh? I hadn't thought about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, like Yord, you almost think, all right, he's gonna get away because lightsaber went out. Because I can't remember. Did his helmet already come off at that point?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Yord uses that to deflect his lightsaber, and then fucking Darth Smiley just grabs him around the neck and snaps his fucking neck.
Yeah.
But for
I
a
thought it was
split second,
cool.
you think, all right, he's going to get away or he's going to get the upper hand.
Mhm.
And then, nope, Yord's dead.
Yeah. That was the best part about this entire episode. Not Yord specifically, though I didn't like him as a character. I just, the idea that there was actual fucking consequences.
Yeah. Yeah. Everybody gets
I
wiped
just
out.
wish it
except
was
for Saul.
Mayanosha, and then the show would be better.
Right.
Because they're out of it. But for some reason, we have to stick with this bullshit fucking narrative that makes zero sense.
Well, and the bad acting. Like, the problem is, and I
It's
realized it
horrible.
watching the next episode for the second time
Yeah.
last night.
Yeah. No, it's horrible.
She acts the same way that Daniel Radcliffe acted in the first 3 Harry Potters.
What?
Like, she had no business being there, just like he had no business being there.
Oh.
I like the Harry Potter movies, which I know you're not supposed to say nowadays, because we have to hate everything that one
good or
person
bad.
does versus a
Right,
piece
yeah.
of art that
Yeah.
hundreds of thousands of people have made. But whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, fuck
that's her acting is just, it's very, very, very fucking amateur at best.
Yeah, which is wild because I do see people like, she's a great actress. I've seen her in other things. She's done a wonderful job. And I was like, I've seen her in 2 things: The Acolyte and her own homemade like dance video. Like
Hey,
telling
you know
Star
what?
Wars fans to
If
fuck
you don't
off.
listen to it, it's a great video.
You
Just
see like cunt, like right in the camera. Which is weird. I'm a fan. Don't get me wrong. I'm not like down in the whole practice. I'm just saying, what the fuck is all.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand why you're in a property and then you talk shit about the people that love the property.
Well, and
What
especially
are you
because she doesn't
doing?
even know the property.
Yeah.
Like, talking about being one of the first black female leads in Star Wars. And it's like, God, dude, come on.
Oh, man. All right. So I was frustrated by that initial lightsaber. Yeah, I'm going right back to the beginning. The initial lightsaber fights, but worse, where the fuck was Saul? The Master, who doesn't show up for like half of the episode. The Jedi under his watch are dying literally left to right. They're getting shish kebab, deheaded, fucking stabbed through everything, whatever. Sabine Wren survives, but these Jedis are fucked. And like, he is totally missing. Like, the whole time. This is worse than watching the Praetorian fight in Last Jedi slow motion. Because you see so many of those Praetorians that should have fucking killed Rey 1 billion times, and suddenly their weapons are just missing in their hands. And then it comes right back, and you're just like, what?
Yeah, there's no logic to the choreography. Like, that's specifically one of the notes I said was, wow, there's no sense to the choreography.
No, it's just nonsense and ridiculous. Even though it's flashy, which I dig, but I'm not a fucking child. Well, sometimes.
Ish.
Yeah, thank you. Ish. We'll go with
Ish.
that. And like ultimately, then like at some point we cut back to May, who this whole time people are dying, screams are happening outside. She's in this echo chamber in this like Kelnaka death like fucking shroud. And like inside my brain, I'm just like, Kelnaka, be Jason. Just wake up and kill her. Wake up and snap her neck. Wake up and break her in half. Like, just put her in a fucking a sleeping bag and hit her against a tree. Just do something to fuck this bitch up, because I can't. I would rather watch your dead corpse move around, which would be amazing. I'd watch that over almost anything, than watch this show anymore. Like, she's just like sitting there like, oh, I don't know what to do. He's dead. Should I still turn myself in? Like, there has to be some inner dialogue that we as the audience are not privy to, which she is coming to a conclusion of, nah, fuck the Jedi. I'm going to kill them all. Like, from like A to B to A, right again. No reason, just it happens. Why wouldn't she want to go with the Jedi for protection, if nothing else?
Yeah, well, specifically, that was the whole point to begin with, was she was going to turn herself into the Jedi.
She's like, my sister's alive, and which makes even less sense when we get to the end of the episode. She's like, my sister's alive. God. It changes everything. I need to be with her. And just like the little child version of her, she's a fucking cunt. Because she goes from, I love you, be with us, I'm going to murder you. You're like, whoa, simmer down, PB&J.
Yeah, she has not changed at all over the years. Yeah, Chris, yeah, you're right. That is a direct quote.
Said Stevie Wonder.
Yeah. So fucking frustrating. And it just, the only thing about that whole shit that pissed me off more than it was just stupid was the fact that it reminded me that we did not get to see a Jedi Wookiee fight.
Yeah, or a Jedi Wookiee's Woody.
I mean, equally as frustrating because I need to know, is it a regular humanoid penis or is it a red rocket?
Do they have brisks? Like, is it just shrouded? Or like, is there just a lot of extra like Big League Chew?
oh, god damn.
You have to be of a certain age to get that joke.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a thing anymore.
No,
so baseball players used to do a lot of tobacco, and for kids to like feel like connected with them, they made like a bubblegum tobacco.
Yeah, man, it was straight up like a big ass pouch of strips, like thin strips of bubblegum. So you would grab a dip.
You feel like you were dipping
in your mouth.
as a child. They even had like fake cigarettes.
Oh no, you can still get those.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, dude.
Like those are still made. It's fucking hilarious.
It was ridiculous. Oh, all right.
Yeah.
So,
and then everybody wonders why we smoked.
Yeah, I can't imagine why. I ended up kind of quitting. I have a cigar from time to time.
That doesn't count.
Okay.
I quit smoking like 7 years ago, 6 years ago at this point. I do not count weed, obviously, and I don't count cigars.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if you pass me a joint,
that's completely different.
I'm a human. What the fuck?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm a monster. All right, so we're back to Star Wars. We're back to this ridiculous episode. At some point, Saul comes back in the mix, but so does his Padawan.
Oh God,
Padawan. Oh, here's the deal.
Yeah.
I'm a huge Logan fan, and I love the actress Daphne Keane. I hate the character design of her character. I hate how they do her wrong in this episode. I don't give a fuck her sexuality because there was the whole big kerfuffle.
Yeah, that doesn't fucking matter. Who gives a shit?
It doesn't fucking matter. But I love her as an actress. I wish she was given a little bit more. I feel like she was written for this really shitty story arc that had like these beats that made you think they were going to be interesting and carry through, but then they're just like dropped. And you're just like, why? Why did we waste all of that time if this was the result? Because you're as the writers, you're not shocking me as in, how could you possibly murder her? Because we didn't know yet. We didn't know her yet. You just teased her. Like, oh, hey, guess what? This could be a really interesting character, but we're not going to show you that because we don't know how to fucking write interesting characters, apparently. Fuck.
Yeah.
It kills me. She could have, like, if they, like, I heard there's a comedian that has a show that, like, talks about all sorts of movie reviews and stuff like that. And he was talking about Star Wars where he was like, if they just got rid of the twins and just had that Jecki Padawan and Saul as the two that were going after the Sith, it would be so much better.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, 100%. It's Osha May / that actress that is like and the writers, to be fair, that is sinking this whole series.
Because they're not interesting. They are boring, and everything around them is boring.
Yeah. Kristen Harloff, that's that.
The second they're pulled out of the equation, it might be a semi-decent show. Great, probably not.
No,
decent, I would imagine.
The worst part about this is a fucking knockout. This is the easiest goddamn thing you could possibly write. A mystery about the Sith coming back. There's no reason why this should be challenging. You look at you don't even have to read novels. Look at comics.
Clearly they haven't.
Yeah, well, obviously. Read some of the comics, like the Dawn of the Jedi, Tales of the Jedi era. Break a little bit into Night of the Old Republic. It's not going to take you very long. That will tell you everything you ever need to know about how to twist Jedi from the original trilogy to make it, the Sith interesting. Like, it tells you everything you need to
Mhm.
know. And, like, it doesn't take but minutes. And for fuck's sake, you can't even be bothered because none of this makes any sense.
No. Well, and it's especially frustrating because the series is almost over.
Yeah.
It's
We
a
have
mini
2 episodes
series.
left.
There's no second season. And yeah, there's 2 fucking episodes left. I mean, in the context of what we're talking about, there's 3 episodes left, but still, it's like, how do you wrap this up and make this like, oh, okay, all of that made sense and that was worth the trip. I don't think they can do that.
They're not going to Agatha Christie their way out of this motherfucker.
There is no way. They probably don't even know who the fuck Agatha Christie is.
No, there's no way. Unless she like sexually assaulted women. Leslie Headland is not aware of it because that was her only job. I just have to toss that in there because it's super shitty.
It really is.
I like the fucking worst. It's like a Jew working for Hitler to put people on fucking trains. That's how fucked that is.
Intentionally.
Doing knowingly.
Because there's one thing when you're forced into a position, as you know, I could imagine a Jew being forced to do that. No, she was not forced.
Hey, Cliff. Yeah, we're part of that pain. we live in this hellhole.
Yeah, no, and I keep comparing this to Willow because the show. I should clarify that I love the movie. The show was fucking dog shit, and this is the same fucking thing.
Yeah. So I did enjoy the fact that Jackie was killed because, again, I like consequences. What I didn't understand was when, like, he didn't want to take his helmet off because Saul could read his mind, but then when his helmet was off, Saul didn't read his mind.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck?
Well,
why
he didn't
even bring
have
that
to.
up?
He didn't have to because he knew who he was. It seemed really familiar when his helmet was on. And
I noticed something familiar.
Oh. Okay, and one thing I want to say, like, I know we've talked about it personally, but like one thing that frustrates me beyond belief is realizing that Saul is the dude from Squid Games.
Yeah.
He was amazing in Squid Games.
Oh,
and it's like, this can't be all him. Either they were really great writers for Squid Games, which they were, and he was just a mediocre actor that they edited to make look good, or he's a great actor and this is just so terrible that it's fucking ruining him.
I don't know, man. I mean, I got to give him props because he learned English for this role.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not nothing.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like you can learn whatever fighting sequence, but learning a whole language, that's something.
Yeah.
So, like, kudos for that, but fuck, like, he's not given much to work with. And what are you going to do? So, like, the apprentice dies, fucking weirdo.
That was a hell of a death.
Dude,
like,
3 shots.
That, she thinks she's all tough and shit. Yeah. And that's when we get the reveal and just stick. It's like, that motherfucker. That's the coolest thing he's done.
Do you think she was able to take him as badly as she was? Because she was pressing on him like no one else. Like, she was going toes with this dude. And everyone else was getting thrown around. Is it because she's that badass as a Padawan? Or is
Oh, go ahead.
Or is it because they're making like some weird like female-male statement?
Okay. So the fan in me wants to say it's because she was pulling from the dark side. Because she was full of rage. She was pissed.
Hell
Everybody that she knows is dead.
Ooh, I dig that, dude.
That would make sense.
Yes, 100%.
Now,
that'd be dope.
Since you brought up what you just brought up, I'm going to say that. Because she's a strong female and she's more powerful than he is.
Yeah.
He only won because he's sneaky.
That's the fucking Disney way. I don't get it.
I hate to say it, but I really do.
Well, I feel like an asshole for even bringing it up. I've got a fucking daughter that I want to be the biggest, baddest motherfucker that she wants to be. But I don't think just because she's a woman, she should be. I know too many guys. We're the worst. I don't think they should be on top of anything either.
Nope.
Like, it has nothing to do with one or the other. It's just like when you force feed it, it's just like painful. I don't know.
Chris, straight up. It's that helmet was straight up Clark Kent's glasses.
What?
Yeah.
What?
So he says the writer's thinking that Darth Smiley's reveal would be surprising.
Oh, right.
Must have thought that Clark Kent's glasses were, a great disguise.
Yeah, okay, I'm tracking. I misunderstood. All right, so, and then we get this really wonderful moment where May and Osha face off, and she's like, "Sister, you forgot you've been poisoned by the Jedi. The Jedi have poisoned your thinking." And she's like, "You're the one that's poisoned. You're the one that's not." And she force pushes her and fucking like knocks her ass out. Then changes clothes. Have you ever tried to change an unconscious human's clothes?
Yes. It's not that easy.
I've assaulted my wife, yes. In her sleep. I'm kidding, people. I'm kidding.
No, you got to take care of your buddies when they've had too much, just like they've done for me.
It's not an easy fucking thing.
No, it's fucking not. And I don't give a shit if you got the Force or not. That's not making it any easier.
It's much harder than cutting your hair with a lightsaber perfectly to match everyone else's sisters. I was like, what is she doing? Is she killing herself?
So pissed.
This could be awesome.
Like, you've got knives. Good, sharp knives.
Yeah, that's what she's known for.
Way easier. Why would you use a fucking lightsaber? Just on the off chance that somebody is in the vicinity. They're not going to hear you cutting your fucking hair with a knife, but they're going to hear the click of a fucking lightsaber and it going vroom,
vroom, vroom. She is the Edward Scissorhands of fucking Star Wars, and she doesn't use them. The one time
straight up,
she could benefit. Yeah, that was really weird. Yeah. It's just the whole idea that you could completely change clothes and then suddenly, ta-da, you're that other person. It's like this weird 1950s Parent Trap Disney, family TV nonsense.
Here's my biggest problem with it, and it's not something that's really addressed until the next episode. They are Force users. Yes. Their companions are Force users as well. Significantly stronger in the Force.
He's a
you
master.
Really think a fucking disguise is going to change whether they can see, tell who you are or not? Besides that, she's got a fucking tattoo on her face.
Yeah. All the Sith ever had to do, which, look, Emperor Palpatine's going to kick himself for this, was wear the glasses with the nose and mustache, and they would have fooled the fucking Jedi the whole time.
100%.
They never had to use the Force.
Dude, that fucking happened to Darth Vader. All you have to do is watch Robot Chicken to see that shit. Oh yeah, so every time you just act like he kills you, then you come back with a mustache or an eye patch or something.
It's so dumb. It's comedically dumb, but not intentionally.
Yeah.
I feel like if they would lead with no, we get it. We get what we're doing. Just let's have some fun. I would probably love this show.
Yeah, if this was a comedy,
if it was intentional.
Yeah.
I'd be like, yeah. No, I get it. You guys are fucking with us. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Because that's all fucking Robot Chicken was taking the piss out of fucking Star Wars fans. And yeah, I get it. I love it. I'm a fan. What are you going to do?
They are too. That's why they did it.
Exactly. So you do that, I'm 100% in. You do this, and I'm just like, what? I don't. And then when I complain and the world complains, they're just like, no, it's because you're a racist. Or
you're a racist or a misogynist or a misogynist racist.
I'm like, yeah, I am, but that's not why.
It's I love women.
Yes,
I own a couple of them.
I can walk and chew gum. Oh, man. No, this is why no one watches this shit. No one gives a fuck.
Because we're speaking the truth.
That's what it is. I was so disappointed in the weird moment when Jackie goes in to arrest May when she realizes she's been hiding out in this fucking room when people are fucking dying 3 inches on the other side of the door. And then she's like, I'm going to arrest you for all of these charges. And she was like, no, fuck you. I'm going to kill you. And I'm just like, but wait a second. You just said the last time we saw you that you were going to turn yourself into them. And so when they come to arrest you, you fight them? What? What the fuck?
Plus, Jackie, where the fuck is your lightsaber? Yeah. What happened to it?
One time at band camp?
I fucking guess. That would have made this way more interesting.
I would totally watch that. If anyone wants to do an animated video, send it to me.
Yes.
The Infernal Brotherhood at gmail.com. Thank you very much. Oh, man. It was such a... First of all, I didn't mind their fight. I thought that was fun.
Yeah, the fight was good.
It was ridiculous because it didn't make any sense. It reminded me kind of I got really like Lethal Weapon type, sort of like cops against cops. They don't really want to fuck each other up, but they got to be mad on, for the scene.
Well, and especially when somebody has a single cuff on,
yeah,
and it's the fight trying to get the other one on. Yeah, no, it's been done before.
So stupid. It's very 80s. There's a lot of 80s like sort of sensibilities in this, but it just doesn't go the full 80s. If it went full 80s, then we would be okay with it, I think.
Yeah,
I think we saw
there's a lot of mullets too.
If this was just a fucking
sense.
parody, it would be dope.
Yeah, if they were in on the joke with us, different story.
Dude, the power of one, the power of two, the power of many, as a joke, lands. It's hilarious. Like, as real, you're just like, what?
Yeah, it's like, that doesn't make any goddamn sense.
What?
You guys are dumb.
Like, just logically, the statement doesn't make sense. But okay. Especially when she explains it. All right, so I don't know, man. Like, ultimately, May switches places with Osha. May, the bad girl, goes with Saul, the good guy. And then Osha, the good girl, is picked up by the bad guy, Darth. We'll call him Bruce Lee. Reminds me of...
No. Fuck no.
He reminds me of the actor that played Bruce Lee in Bruce the Dragon, or Bruce the Dragon, the Bruce Lee story.
Okay,
which I loved.
Fair.
Jason Lee. He's not an identical whatever for Jason Lee. I'm just saying. Naked
there's so many better Bruce Lee lookalikes. Like, that's a whole subgenre of kung fu movies is Bruce Lee clones, and I'm all for it.
Maybe a little outside the boundaries for this episode. But...
No, definitely, but
basically, what we're saying is we like to see people naked, like Bruce Lee. Just take your shit off, all you Bruce Lee people.
Man. I mean, if you got the fucking body for it, do it, man. Shit.
Send all photos to Cameron at the Infernal Brotherhood.
I'll take it, man. Yeah, it's just, and there's a couple things that I did want to touch on before we end this, because I mean, ultimately they fight, the Jedi lose, the twins swap places, and credits. The shit that got me. Sorry, I'm looking through my notes. So one, the initial confrontation between Osha and May. Do they not understand how to set up a C-stand with a fucking tennis ball? Like, this bitch has no idea where her eye line is. Right. So she's essentially like Osha is staring at her sister's tits the whole time they're talking. I could not get over that. It was like, what the fuck? Like, first time I watched it, I'm like, no, I was heavily medicated. That's why it looked like that. And the second, it's like, nope, she is straight up staring at her tits.
Yeah, there's a lot of eyeline problems with this show, especially in the next episode.
Oh, yeah, next episode's horrendous with that. Dick. This is just like, oh my God, so terrible. And then when Darth Smiley is doing the whole healing thing, and even in our triumph, we see the depth of our despair. Like, why the fuck are you reciting poetry to an unconscious bitch? Like, the fuck? And then he heals her? It's like, no, that is a Jedi ability. Yeah. Now, of course, he was trained as a Jedi, but my understanding of things is, like, once you go to the other side of the spectrum, you give up certain abilities.
That's the saying. Once you go black, you never go back. That's what you're talking about, right?
That's exactly what I'm talking about. So seeing her get healed by him, it's like, you just tried to kill her, assuming that you don't know that it's Osha. Like, why the fuck are you healing her? Yeah. It's just, God, it was so dumb.
I feel like both people knew exactly who they were.
And then, these motherfuckers not understanding Jedi tradition pissed me the fuck off. As, let's see, I forget what the fuck they were saying, but like, oh wait, no, that's the next episode. Why did I make that note in this one? Whatever. Anyways, I'll get to it. But yeah, it's just like, there's so many things in this that's like, why did you add that? That's nonsense. And why is Darth Smiley a poet all of a sudden?
Hey, he's got a hobby. I'm not going to shame him.
You know what? Okay, I take that back.
Make haikus. I can appreciate it. I can't write a haiku. Literally, I cannot. But I appreciate him.
Yeah.
The end of this made no sense. You, as a master, would know your former apprentice. You would 100% know that person. Literally inside the mind out. Like, that's the whole fucking purpose.
Yeah, 100%.
So he would definitely know May from OSHA, and what they're calling the stranger is definitely aware that that is not OSHA. I'm sorry, that's not May. And I think we are supposed to believe knows it, but Saul, we're supposed to believe doesn't know it.
Yeah, and
really
that's the
weird.
whole reason they keep the tracker around. It's like, come on.
Yeah.
That tracker is not effective for shit.
Dude, like the end of this episode, they just abandon all of the Jedi bodies. No funeral pyre, no bringing the bodies back. They just walk away. His own Padawan that he trained, he just walks the fuck away from.
That's the thing. That's a part of the Jedi religion is you burn them where they fell if there was a massive battle. Otherwise, you take them to a ceremonial place to do it. In this case, he would have to burn them where they fucking fell.
Yeah. Which would have been a beautiful scene because fucking the stranger was already abducted by bugs.
Oh my god, that shit. You're gonna fucking chuck your droid's head at a motherfucker to try to kill him?
So
he just took out a bunch of Jedi. You think a bunch of fucking giant potato bugs with wings are gonna kill him? They couldn't even kill your dumb
They
ass.
could be June bugs. You don't know.
God, that was so stupid.
It was ridiculous. Seeing him picked up by these bugs as like it was a real threat to a dude who just fucked a dozen Jedi. Like, what?
Yeah, man, it did not make any sense.
What are you talking about? It was the most ridiculous goddamn visual ever. So, of course, he comes back and he just cuts his way out of it. But it's just weird seeing him, like, lift it off like he's the Wizard of Oz. With some like, air contraption. Like, steam? What is this? Fucking stupid.
Right.
Oh, goddamn. And that was like the episode. We were just left with like, okay, it literally is the Parent Trap.
Yep.
All right, let's see where this goes. I loved the film The Parent Trap, the first one, the old one.
Yeah, even the remake wasn't terrible.
I never watched it, so I couldn't say. But I also love Freaky Friday. But... Do you see that one?
Oh, of course.
Oh.
Yeah, my sister was obsessed with that shit, dude, so I had to watch that a lot.
So good. Yeah, the whole premise is so ridiculous. There's no way they would put it in Star Wars.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's Disney now, and those were Disney movies.
So from this episode alone, what was your favorite moment?
Jackie getting killed. Like, Yord initially was dope. Like, I was like, this is my favorite part. And then just that fucking the click of the second lightsaber and getting stuck 3 times real fast, and then she drops. Yeah. That shit was boss as hell.
Yeah, I really loved that. I think that was the only scene in The Last Jedi that I genuinely loved. Was that moment where Rey like just like on-offed the lightsaber and killed a Praetorian guard. I was just like, oh shit! That's boss. Fuck yeah! And then the rest was garbage.
Yeah.
Yeah, my favorite was the shish kebab, the Jedi shish kebab / beheading. Oh,
yeah, that was pretty funny.
Oh, that was amazing. I want to do that in a video game. That was so cool. Oh,
yeah.
That'd be dope. Least favorite. Did you have one?
Oh god, least favorite. It's kind of a toss up between the May and OSHA fight that wasn't even really a fight, and Darth Smiley reciting poetry at the end. Like, I don't know which one I hate more.
Yeah, that's funny. My least favorite is probably May doing the weird 180. Like, the last episode, she did a weird 180, and then this episode, she did another weird 180. So why the fuck did you even do that if you were just going to go back to here? You could have just saved us a headache trying to figure out what the fuck you're doing. It just bothered me so much. What about hopes for the next episode? Let's go back to a world. Young, fresh Cameron has not experienced the next episode. What do you think?
I'm like, oh, you know what? Okay, this episode wasn't too bad. Maybe this is where they turn the tides. Maybe we're going to actually get something that's not nonsensical, and we'll actually, explain why everybody's doing what they're doing.
Yeah. I mean, we're nearing the end, so they got to start giving us answers.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I was. My hopes for this future was like, I just want to understand the Sith guy. Like, where does he come from? I want to know his lineage. Like, I want to know how he became this. We never really got it. We got some hints. but that's all this show ever gives us. So, all right. Anything else with this episode?
Think we got it.
Well, thank you all so much for tuning in. We're going to do another review in just a second here. We invite you to subscribe to this channel. Click the bell to get notified about future videos and click the like button because all that helps other Star Wars fans who don't mind really bad language tune into this show.
Yeah, exactly. It's good fun for the whole family.
Yeah. Show your kids. That's all I'm saying. We'll get new fans. Till the Infernal Brotherhood convenes again, my fellow scruffy looking Nerf Herders. May the Force be with you.
Well, I did wear a mask.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. Why haven't you shown yourself?
Again, it's like Willow, where it's something cool and then they try to interject something stupid.
I do feel like that's what I would say in that situation, though.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, no, I understand his motivation, but still.